Hello and welcome to the interview here on France 24. My name is Marcus Carlson. To say that the past few weeks in Italian politics have been eventful is probably an understatement. Silvio Berlusconi, the strong man who's been a key fixture of Italian politics since 1994, has stepped down from his post as Prime Minister. And a technocratic government led by the respected economist Mario Monti has now taken power. All of this political drama has played out as markets have been turning the screws on Italy. Borrowing costs have soared to levels that are considered unsustainable in the longer term. Our guest today is one of Italy's most high-profile politicians, Emma Bonino from the Radical Party, and she joins us from Rome. She's the Vice President of the Italian Senate, a former cabinet minister and a former European Commissioner. Thanks very much indeed for speaking to us today, Ms. Bonino.
Thank you for the invitation.
Now, with the naming of Mario Monti, he's now outlined his new cabinet. Are you optimistic that Italy is turning a corner?
Well, I am determined, as much as I think Prime Minister Monti, to make all that is needed to exactly turn the page and start and promote a new start in Italy for renovation, modernization, and finally tackling the reforms that nobody had the courage to do in the past 20 or 30 years. So I'm just determined. So let's say it will be an uphill struggle. It will not be easy. And I do think that Monti will need all the support he can from the political parties. And up to now, this is not clear at all.
Now, Italy has a huge debt mountain, 1.9 trillion euros. And as I said before, of course, those borrowing costs, they have reached unaffordable levels for Italy at the moment. Do you think that the Monti government will be able to get the market's trust as well? That is a key issue at this point.
Well, I hope so, and I'm pleased really to international community, whatever they are, to give at least some space of hope and trust to this new government. In fact, the change in the past 2 weeks have been enormous. Now, what worries me a little bit is that I'm not so clear and confident that the support that the political parties have pledged up to now, but refusing to assume direct responsibility in government, well, I'm not so sure that this support in Parliament will be long-lasting or will be stable.
Mario Monti, he said that he wants to be in power until at least 2013 with his technocratic government. As you referred to there's been a lot of sniping already in Italian politics after the resignation of Silvio Berlusconi. The Northern League, the Lega Nord, for instance, says it wants fresh elections. Do you think that the Monti government will be able to stay in power for as long as it wants?
Well, this is what I hope, and this is what I think that people like me would really make all the possible efforts, because you don't turn the page in such a country like Italy, frankly speaking, in 3 months' time. But I'm not so sure that everyone is determined in this direction, and I am afraid that still there are groups that still are thinking in some way of anticipated election, sometimes in May or June. That is what I was trying to explain. And the politicking in these past hours, the veto in between the PDL and the PD, the Lega Nord is not the question. They have a crystal clear position. We will oppose it. But that is not the real issue. The real issue is the parties that now are saying they will support government, how serious they are, and how long this support will last.
When do you think we'll see the kind of reforms that the markets as well as the European Union have been asking for? I'm thinking of a pension reform, cutting red tape and other issues that the EU as well as the markets have asked for, have demanded. When do you think we'll see them?
Well, first of all, I think that these are the kind of reform that Italy should have done in any case exactly to promote growth and to modernize the country. I've been pleading for this reform in the last 20 years, beginning with pension liberalization, privatization, red tape, and so on and so forth. To no avail, to no avail. Nobody wanted to do it, neither the left government nor the right government. So now we are on the verge of the abyss. Everybody knows that these reforms are needed, but evidently the reform in the short term will be painful before, let's say, giving positive results. And so that is not because they are dictated by Europe, the market, and et cetera, et cetera. They are simply needed and necessary if you want to promote growth. But we didn't do it because these kind of reforms are hitting parts of the society that are supporting this or that party.
Ms. Bonino, of course, these reforms,
yes,
they are painful indeed, as you were just saying there, but could you give us a timeline? When can we get those kind of reforms? Are we talking weeks? Or are we talking months? That's a question that markets wants to see answered.
Well, the timing has been agreed in any case by the European Union, with the European Union, and I even think that they should be accelerated. But the timing that had been agreed is that by June, all the dossier of the reform should have been completed. I think that at least part of it, a package, should come as a package as soon as possible. But the timing, that is what has been agreed with the European Council, and I don't think that Monti will not comply. If I may give a suggestion, maybe we need to go even quicker.
Now, if we look at the Monti government, it's a technocratic one. Isn't there a democratic deficit here? I mean, the Italian people, they haven't really had a say in this.
Well, democracy is not exactly what is brilliant in my country, and we are in a partitocracy system, much more of a democracy. This is our opinion, and that is not due to the last 3 years. Let's say the interference of the political parties in the society, in the economy, in nominating, in the public business and private also, dates back of 20 or 30 years. So from this point of view, maybe you may remember what happened in '92 with clean hands and all the scandals at that time. So frankly speaking, we were not living in a good health democracy that we should... but the question is very simple, is that when you are on the verge of the abyss and with you comes all the European project, I think that in some way the support of the political parties and the fact that in any case we will have election in 2013 should give some reassurance. We were in no position to paralyze the country for 3 months just to face anticipated election now.
Now, some people say that Italy is ungovernable. From everything that you've said in the past few minutes, it seems at least as if you partly agree with that statement. That doesn't really bode well, does it, for the Monti government?
Well, a great writer in my country, Leonardo Sciascia, told back in '79 that the Italian people are the most patient, the most easy to run and to govern, provided that you speak with them the language of truth and credibility. What is unmanageable, he said, and I agree, is exactly the political parties and the representative of these, 15 parties or more or less so. So the real problem that Monti will have to face is exactly the fractionism and the split inside the political parties and the political leadership.
Now, you've been working with Mario Monti for a long time. You were in the same European Commission as him back in the 1990s. Do you think that he has the qualities that are needed at this stage? For instance, telling and persuading ordinary Italians that these radical reforms that are on the cards are needed?
Well, he is, in my opinion, the best possibility we could have in the situation where we are. And as I said before, my countries and my people, when you talk them the language of truth and you are credible enough, I think they are aware of the fact that you cannot go on retiring at 58 or 60 years old. You cannot go on this sort of paralyzed situation with a lot of privileges, corporations, and so on and so forth. So again, it's not the Italians the question. My fear is much more the political parties and this pervasive, invasive partitocracy.
But you're a part of this whole political system. It seems as if you're very downbeat about it, and the fact that you're saying that Italian politicians might not be the best ones to sort this whole mess out. That's a pretty damning account coming from someone within the system itself.
Listen, I don't feel I am part of this system. We have always been trying to be in the institution, calling exactly on the sense of responsibility of other political parties on how to use and how to behave. And the proof is that exactly I've been calling for the reform that now are badly needed in the past 20 years through referendums, through whatever, and to no avail. Nobody wanted to listen, and so on and so forth. So I'm not part of the system, but I know the system very well.
All right. On that note, we're going to have to wrap it up there. Emma Bonino, the Vice President of the Italian Senate, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and we're going to follow what's going to happen in Italy very closely in the next few months. Thanks once again. And with that, we're going to wrap up the program. Thanks for watching France 24.